Where is there a vendor that can help tie our very large tech stack together instead of here's the next new shiny object? I don't need another tool for my clients. I need something that helps make our internal lives easier and the systems we have talk better together. Every morning I have it run for every client meeting we have that day, and I've saved my team an hour a day.
In an industry built to serve money, the Planning Center serves the people. They are a fee-only financial planning firm with offices from Alaska to New Orleans, focused on one thing: giving families a safe place to discuss life and money. Today, we're talking to Matt Mercer, COO of the Planning Center. Thank you so much for being here, Matt.
Hey, thanks for the warm welcome, Jason. I don't think I could have written or articulated that about our company quite as well. So thank you very much.
Well, we love the Planning Center and we love supporting you and what you do. Before Caddi, what did operations look like? What did moving a client's information between tools look like?
The reality of the planning center is we have 5 offices in 5 different cities. So we live in this virtual, highly technical world. There's some folks that might have one office and you can have the drive-by delegation, right? Someone comes out of a meeting and hands a file or a post-it to get something done. For us, we have to rely heavily on technology. Up till a couple of years ago, I thought we had some really finely tuned, built out business processes, and I think we do. But all of those processes pointed to a human to make manual action somewhere. And part of the goal, whenever I've gone to a conference or worked with another vendor, is where is there a vendor that can help tie our very large tech stack together instead of here's the next new shiny object? I don't need another tool for my clients at this point. I need something that helps make our internal lives easier and the systems we have talk better together. I think in our industry, there can be a really tough spot. Hey, are you going to go all in on their tech stack? There's pros and cons to that. The pro might be efficiency. The con is you're at the behest of that company and wherever they lead forward. We're in this middle ground. It's like we're not large enough to have our own developers on staff, but we're not small enough to feel like we need to be all in on one and at the behest of that company. So what does it look like to live in the middle ground? Because there is a big cost to moving and changing technology. And when the industry and the landscape changes so quickly, I'm not interested in changing my CRM every 5 years, my custodian every X years, or my document management system every X years. These take a lot of labor to really do well. So the goal in my mind isn't here's the new vendor in the space. It's how can we get the vendors to just work better together in service of our clients?
Were there any frustrations around this?
I think part of it is anytime I worked with another vendor, it's, hey, we can code something for you. And then there's a cost that can be prohibitive. And then the second you get it done, something has changed. So, well, you're then going to have to redo it. So there's just a constant cost that comes with that. And with technology evolving as rapidly as it does, we didn't want to dive headfirst into that space and just have tons and tons of cost in there. We're trying to be mindful and see what's coming along that can help us over time. And luckily, I think we found Caddi at the right time for us to really help start to make some of that happen.
So changing gears, now you found Caddi, implemented Caddi. In a sentence, what would you tell a COO peer? What is Caddi?
That's a great question. I would say Caddi is a teachable technology that will help you do repeatable tasks. And when I said teachable, why I chose that is because Caddi watches you do it, right? You're recording yourself following a process. You might be explaining it a little bit more in a video so Caddi can watch and understand and really create the process for you, but you don't have to speak the back end language. It is an interpreter of sorts where it's going to watch how you operate, understand, and say, hey, here's the X's and O's of how to do it, right? It's using AI in a way that I think really contains and helps, and it doesn't give free rein into your systems. Rather, it understands how to use it and then gives out a repeatable code afterwards.
I'm going to take you back to your first loop. Was it a fast process, an easy process? How did that go?
One thing that we wanted to do as an example, anytime we have a meeting with the client, we run certain reports for them. So every morning I've got people on my team coming in saying, great, who's on the calendar today? Let's go run reports for them and have them saved into our document management system so our planners have them at their fingertips when they need them. Now, for my ops staff to run that in the morning, it might take an hour to run all of them for the day. And then they might be interrupted because, It's the start of the day and a client walks in, or there's that drive-by delegation that I unintentionally walk by their desk and need something, right? These are very human things, but they interrupt their work of trying to get things done for clients in a timely manner. We created a loop that can automatically do that every morning for us, right? And now I can run it by pressing a button. Hey, I want this right now for this client, or what schedule do you want this run on? And we can just capture it for everything. So every morning I have it run for every client meeting we have that day, and I've saved my team an hour a day.
What is one that was like really complex? You thought, hey, maybe automation can't even do this.
It's a really good question, Jason. I think where my mind goes, for years I've been working on processes, and oftentimes it's going to be black and white. The information has to be in this cell to be gathered and pulled over, right? I think as Caddi has grown, y'all have been able to integrate into systems in a way where you might say, actually, that information doesn't have to be found in this exact field every time, or it can be a longer text field and Caddi will be able to extract the appropriate information out of it, right? That's where it starts to feel less technology helping and actually having an assistant. Because that's the sort of thing, if I were to hire someone here to do the work, I would teach them, yep, it's in this text field, look through the paragraph or two, and pull out the appropriate information. I don't have to give it to them on a platter necessarily. I want you to be smart enough to understand the paragraph you're looking at and that you need to know the asset allocation that we need, pull it and then place it over here, right? So it was really cool to see Caddy evolve in a way that, yep, it can look at a paragraph, it can look at more text and understand what it needs to pull out of it. That sort of thing to me just made a world of difference, that we didn't have to hunt for perfect when we were trying to create a process, because that's what it's always felt like. You create a process and then you get 80% of the way done and it fails. With Caddy, it's never felt like that. It's, yep, we'll figure our way through it. And it's not this perfection, black and white thing. Caddy can operate in the gray.
But just this notion that it's an automation, but it's intelligent and some of its own decision-making power to deal in this gray area, to deal in this ambiguity. And then also a big piece of this is like unstructured data.
Well, what I'll say about that unstructured data, I think that's the perfect way of saying it. And I think it's what a lot of small companies are going to have a hard time with, because oftentimes with technology, you're going to get garbage in, garbage out. And garbage in often looks like inconsistency or unstructured data. So Caddy's ability to work through unstructured data, to sift through it in a way that is beneficial for everybody, it's a win. When we have it looking at our CRM, it's not looking at exact data. It's not saying, here is the exact account number and only the account number. It might be nested in a paragraph of comments that our planners sent to our ops team. So Caddy's ability to sift through it and get what it needs without someone else having to copy and paste those 8 or 6 digits or 12 digits, it's just big help.
Oftentimes a vendor will come in and they'll give you a great solution and they'll look good in a demo and then they'll leave, right? And you're left to pick up the pieces once they're gone.
Yeah, that's a very real thing. There's a big difference between what it can do and what it will do, and what I call a vaporware, right? It's not real until it's actually there and in production. Yep, I'm going to use this piece of technology, but oh my goodness, I didn't realize how much work it was going to take on the back end to get it up and running, right? I don't know how many people on my team have access to it at this point, but it's probably close to half of the company at the planning center. But it means that I don't have to do it. I don't have to micromanage it. I check in and they record how they do it and they pass that off to Caddy, and it lets the scale work for us. It's not one person processing a recording, it's a system. So as many recordings as we can pass it, we can have it start doing the work.
I want to finish on one question, and that's if you were chatting with a financial planning firm COO and they're on the fence about Caddy. They know enough about Caddy, but they're on the fence. What's something you might say to them?
There's two thoughts. The direct thing I would say is, if not Caddy, what? Right now, it's a huge value add to us. I'll also say there's very few vendors I work with that I get the level of service and attention and follow through that I do with Caddy. And I know that's feedback I've given to different folks on the team before too, that I can message anytime and I'm going to get a response. It's just incredibly helpful in making things go right. And that's really part of the ethos of what we think about for us as the planning center too. It's like our job is to help make things go right for each other, for our clients. It's how we operate, but it's not always what I get from vendors I work with. So it's great to work with folks that care about the product and seeing it through instead of just checking the box to get something done. It's like you care about my outcomes too. And I've always appreciated that.